Hello, all you hardcores. I'm joined by Terry, my good pal from London. How are you doing, Tel?
I'm all right, man. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm all right, lad. It's 10 years since Frochgrove's won. The picture of me there. Frochgrove's won weigh-in.
Mate, you'd have broken the scales, though.
I was 25 clem there, actually. I'd lost three and a half clem by that stage. Early stages of my gastric.
Is that just because you got a smaller chain on?
Yeah, I only had half a kilo one on then. 512 gram. I think that's what got me kidnapped, isn't it? That strutting around with that, got my head smashed in. But luckily, I didn't have it on that night. That was good luck, wasn't it?
Yeah, mate. You look a lot healthier now. But I don't know. I think we prefer you somewhere in the middle. We got to get you back to about 182.
182, that'd be a good. Yeah, what's that? 13 and a half, 12 and a half, is it?
Yeah.
12 and a half.
Uh,
It'd be nice to get to 182. I'm 162. £20. I'll have to get some of that. That USN's supposed to be a good drink, isn't it? That build-up drink. Have you heard? USN, it's
I don't drink a lot of that stuff because it's got a lot of lactose in it and stuff. So I try and avoid it because it's not good for your
Terry.
gut. Yeah, I avoid it. I don't, mate, on God, right? When people say to me, oh, what do you take, mate? What do you take? Honestly, on my kitchen cupboard, kitchen counter, I've got, what have I got? ZMA, so zinc, magnesium, and a bit of vitamin B6, and that just helps me sleep.
That
Apart
it?
from that, yeah, apart from that, not really. If I've got something physical to do, I might drop 3 creatine tablets for a little boost, but that's pretty much it, Russ. I
Hmm?
don't touch anything else because I'm not trying to get heavier, so I don't need to do that.
Yeah.
In terms of running around, fit enough, strength, strong enough for now. I don't need to do much else.
Yeah. I
But also,
like,
I'm not insecure. Like a lot of these lads I see now, yeah, 19, 20 years old, they're already on 500 milligrams of test, 300 milligrams of primo, 300 milligrams of fucking tren. I'm like, for what?
I know,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, what are you doing that for? What, just to take pictures in the gym? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. Some people take it serious, that training, don't they? Weight training.
It's weird, Russ, because here's the crazy thing. By the time their kids are their age, they'll be that big naturally.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So you want to show kids pictures of you, and you're probably going to weigh about 15 stone. And yeah, you'll look big and you look muscular, but your kid will be 16 years old and he'll be 15 stone muscular. And you'll laugh at you. God, you guys were so small back then.
Yeah. I've just
Think
been,
about this for us.
yeah.
A guy like Franco Colombo would compete at around 170 pounds,
Yeah. He was stronger than Ox, wasn't he?
but he's small. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? You're only 8 pounds lighter than him.
No, Franco Colombo was a 185 guy, wasn't he?
No, what, 170?
Oh,
Small.
I seen a picture of him, and because I seen Arnold then, he was like 245, and he was saying Franco was stronger than him, and even though he weighed less.
Arnold wouldn't compete at 245. He'd walk around about
Yeah,
250.
that's right. Well, that might be what Franco walked
Yeah.
about then.
Yeah, I'd believe that. But in terms of being on stage, he's 170 pounds. That's not big, Russ.
No, no, he's probably about £10 more than me today.
I tell you something. I met Ronnie Coleman once. He was doing a signing at a gym near Charing Cross. Yeah, it wasn't a gym. It was a sports equipment shop near Charing Cross. And when I met Ronnie Coleman, right, he looked big and everything. And he was like, "How much do you weigh?" I told him, I weigh about 239 pounds right now. And I was like, "How
Yeah.
much do you weigh, Ronnie?" He's like, 235. I was like,
Never.
"What?" But he looked bigger than me, Russ.
Why is that then?
Um, he was older, so his legs probably atrophied a lot.
He's
You
got
you
good
lose a lot of
genetics,
leg.
though, man.
He did have, but mate, when you age has no genetic profile, man. You get old, you get old.
I saw an interview with Ronnie Coleman, and he was saying he were not naturally like Flex Wheeler. So he were not. He said Flex Wheeler like were just a freak, wasn't he? Naturally, do you know what I mean? Ronnie Coleman had to work at it. and he just took it to an immense level, didn't he? He's eating, and did you see some of the meals they were eating on that YouTube program? All they did all day were eat.
But that was you as well.
Well, yeah, but I were eating wrong stuff, and I want exercise. And I were laid there with a Nina Brown, 20 tins of oil, and 55 fag lighters, and I just laid there. Blowtorch. But yeah, 10 year it is. Get Jamie Moore there with gangster suit on like Sopranos. Bless him. I want to mention about a friend of mine who's passed away, Luke Smedley. Shocking, isn't it?
Rest in peace, Luke Smedley. People don't even understand that. They think that when we talk about how good a trainer Chris Smedley is, we're just blowing smoke up his backside, but it's not true. Like, both of his lads were ABA finalists. I think Nicky boxed Amir Khan.
He won it
and
year
Luke
after.
boxed Liam Smith.
He won it year after.
Do you know what I mean? So they were good boxers. I just kind of think life got in the way for those guys. Do you know what I mean? So I feel for him. I feel for Chris, because Chris is a mate, a man I respect greatly. I can't imagine what it's like to have to bury your son, because you're not meant to bury your son. Do you know what I mean?
No, you're not. It's awful.
So no, maximum sympathy for Luke Smedley. That's rough. It's just rough.
A lot of them are worried that Nicky's going to go off at rails, like, you know.
But I can imagine, yeah. Like, how do you cope? How do you cope with that? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's hard to, just conceptually, it's hard to cope.
Yeah.
Because what if Luke was the only guy that could keep Nicky calm?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know what the future holds in that sense. But you know what I mean? Love to everyone. Family's always been good to me, so I can never say a bad word about them.
Yeah, I like Luke Smedley. I like Frankie Gavin as well. And it ain't because they both sparred Steffi Ball and smashed him to pieces. I just like them both. I like Luke. He's, I saw him in Skeggy. I went to see him in Skeggy last year. Me, Nicky, and Matt from Chris's gym. And we had a right laugh and that. And let's say he was the man out there. He was running the show out there, Luke. He wasn't bothered. You know, he's not even from there, but he made a life for his son out there and he liked it. And I'm devastated. And it's bad for Chris and that. It's really awful, man. Awful. It's been on my mind all week. All week, man. All week. What do you say? Whatever you say, you know, you can say you're sorry and you're gutted and all that, but it ain't gonna make it any better, is it, for Chris and Nicky and the rest of the family? Is it? In little Luke Jr., you know? So,
but we haven't got the words, man. It's for the Smedleys. It's just going to be it's a path they have to walk themselves. But all we can ever do as friends is just be there on the sidelines in case they need us.
Yeah. Okay. May Luke Smedley rest in peace. Bless him. Conor Benn and Eubank. There's no belt. There's drug testing issues. Didn't we learn nothing from Golovkin Brook? What's going on here? Is it on? Is it off? Is he serving a 2-year ban? What at board doing? It's all up in arms, isn't it?
Look, they're going to take the path of least resistance. I've said it. I'm almost bored of talking about this now. I just said you'll see Conor Benn fight March, April time, because that's when, as fans, we're just going to have to go, he's done his time.
Yeah, he's done his 2-year then. Silent ban. We're not going to talk about it. An MDA has been signed and nobody can sell in case they get sued. So they've got all bases covered, which is what they've had from day one. They've tried to be sneaky about it. Do you think they'd have been better off, Terry, on day one coming out saying, do you know what? We're messed up. We don't know how it's got in his system. We're going to take the fall. You know, like Amir Khan did. Because he's had no flack, has he? I'm here.
But he's also retired, so
yeah, well, yeah, I see the point. Yeah, and there's no money in Khan like the was Ben. Yeah,
but like I said before, people have different feelings of any situation where Eddie Hearn's involved. A lot of what we feel about Conor Benn is what we're directing towards Eddie Hearn.
Yeah. Do you feel that Conor Benn hasn't covered himself in glory, how he's acted and spoke to people and strutted about? Do you think he's hung himself basically with fans?
Well, No, because I think boxing fans are generally stupid. So no.
Yeah. Chris Eubank is beat Arthur Abraham. He's went distance with George Groves. He beat James DeGale at 168. We've got a 147 guy going to 160. We're so happy with Brooke Golovkin. We have weight divisions for a reason. Do you see this having disaster written all over it if they do fight?
Mm, no, because Eubank's getting older, so that 160 cut is getting harder. If you look at the guys who are about his age, Jamal Charlo's not even trying to make 160 anymore. Jamal Charlo's not even trying to make 160 anymore. And he's about the same age. He's like, nah, the body won't allow me to do it. So it gets harder and harder. Conor Benn, I mean, just means he doesn't have to cut weight to fight Eubank. Will that make him stronger, fresher? I don't know. But I don't think this fight is one-sided as people think it is. I think for the first 4 rounds, Conor Benn's dangerous. And it's going to be for Eubank to tame him with the jab and break him down with body shots if he can do that. Can he still do that in his 30s? I don't know. But the Eubank that fought guys like Abraham, the Eubank that fought guys like, was it Reynold Quinlan he fought as well?
Yeah.
That Eubank will do a fair bit of damage. But I don't know if that Eubank exists anymore.
Oh, yeah.
No.
You remember seeing Eubank on when he first started out? He used to throw really long, massive combinations, didn't he? Fast combinations, hard, didn't he? He ain't that kind of guy now, is he?
Yeah, you can't do that past a certain age, Russ. Like,
Yeah.
Because you do it, then you got to recover for a bit. That recovery takes longer as you get older.
Mm.
So, and actually, I think the art of pro boxing is just that thing of being able to do more with less.
Yeah, it's what if that fight don't happen? Where do you see Eubank going? Because he's been in talks with Ina this week, or is that just to give her a nudge? Do you think?
He's been in talks with who?
If you look on internet, you'll see that Eubank saying that he'd be up for fighting Nathan Heaney. That were yesterday. So I'll send you a link.
So when I saw them, as in Team Eubank, and that's a few weeks ago, they were locked into the Conor Benn fight because the Conor Benn fight was lucrative. Now, the Nathan Heaney fight, can you do that at Stoke Stadium? Can you get the money there? Can you do it on a pay-per-view? BT versus Sky, where does the money actually go? I don't know. But listen, Nathan Heaney did what he had to do, so he's earned the right to have that kind of profile fight. I don't see it happening just because you can get more money with Eubank fighting Liam Smith for the 3rd time.
Yeah. Well, Liam Smith and Eubank, I would pay to see that a 3rd time, would you?
I didn't pay the first 2 times, so that's your answer, Russ.
Yeah. Well, even if it were free, do you think it's worthy of a pay per view? For obviously.
Yes, because they're one each.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
They're one each, and both have excuses for those fights. So it's like, okay, we're going to settle this. No injuries, no nonsense, no nothing. Let's just get this trilogy out the way then.
Yeah.
Because mate, we're struggling for interesting fights. Like if we don't have that, what's in the locker?
It's terrible, isn't it, at the moment, isn't it? I mean, we're starved of action. It's got to the stage now where we're all waxing lyrical of lesser fights, aren't we?
But okay, no, what big fights could we get? British fights, Brit on Brit. What fights could we get that the fans would look forward to? What fights are there?
Well, to be honest with you, I'd like to see Kell Brook against Eubank me at 160. I think that's a good fight if Ben can't get a license. Why not?
After what Crawford did to Brook, really?
Yeah, I understand that, but Kell's had a win, hasn't he? But then again, that's 2
No,
years.
Russ. First law of Porky, You got to go through the record and see how someone was losing. He got dropped with a jab from Terence Crawford, who's a 147 guy.
But he's had a win since then, hasn't he?
Against who?
Amir Khan.
You would call that Baba. That's what you would call that.
Well, we want to see Summit, don't we? Well, what else? What else do you suggest for Eubank? What do you suggest for Nathan Heaney?
No. Like I've said, you start looking outside of that now, right? You start saying, you just whack him in with someone like Charlo and go, listen, not 168, not 160, just whatever weight you two want to make it at, just go at it.
Yeah.
Because Charlo doesn't care about world titles now. He wants to make money. Eubank wants to make money. Al hasn't got a broadcaster after the end of this year. So he won't mind putting his guys on Sky if there's a check for him. Do you know what I mean? This is a time for us to be creative in the fights we want to see.
Yeah. Well,
but I don't want to see guys like Kell Brook, Russ. And the reason I don't want to see guys like Kell Brook is Kell was broken before he fought Amir Khan. So if you're telling me that he's suddenly revitalized, I've got to say, how has he done that?
Well,
what is he? What?
Yeah.
Sorry, what's he done to revitalize?
When I look, Terry, at the top 10 in the UK, we've got Denzel Bentley at 10.
Mm-hmm.
Got Felix Cash at 9, Jimmy Kelly 8, Tyler Denny, Kieran.
Who the hell's Jimmy Kelly?
Jimmy Kelly fought Liam Smith, didn't they, in a world title fight, didn't they? Or a vacant, I think. Or a
Did he win?
World title defense. No, he lost against Liam Smith at light middle, but he's up at middle now.
And he's above Denzel Bentley.
He's ranked number 8. He's above Denzel Bentley.
That's a joke.
Well, he's just had a win. He's just had 2 wins this year against a 13-4 guy, Eduardo Diaz, and then Juan Jose Velasco, 24-5. He got disqualified.
Yeah. Rankings are a joke then.
I know, yeah. Well, he's slipped in at number 8, Jimmy Kelly, and after him, like I said, you've got Denny, Conway, Williams, Heaney, Hamzat Shiraz, Liam Smith, and then Eubank sat at number 1. I don't see Conor Benn in them rankings because he's a welterweight.
I don't care about that. Apart from Denzel, I only say that because he's my mate, so I'm biased. I don't care about that whole list. Like, if they were all on a plane and it crashed, I'd only want Denzel to survive.
Yeah.
Sorry, it sounds cold.
Hamzat Shiraz, 18-0, 24-year-old, brick tops fighter.
But he hasn't been to hell and back yet. We haven't seen him.
Yeah,
he hasn't shown us his soul yet.
He fought Bradley Skeet, didn't he? If you remember.
And Bradley was outboxing him.
Yeah, and
so we know what happened.
You know what happened, don't we? Yeah. So maybe jury's out on him. So are we saying that the British middleweight scene is piss weak?
Well, the rankings are saying that. We're not. We're just giving you guys the evidence.
I'd put Denzel Bentley in any of them top 10.
I do. I think if Denzel hasn't, like, you give Denzel a clear camp, which he didn't have this time, for the record, he had personal stuff to deal with that's far more important than boxing, as far as I'm concerned. So I respect him for actually showing up and fighting when other people wouldn't have done. So give him credit for that. But Nathan Heaney did his thing. And let's not forget, Nathan Heaney was a respected amateur, a guy who lost the ABA semis to, what was his name? Robbie Davis Jr. He's been in with he's of good company. Do you know what I mean? Like, as an amateur, he was up there. In a way that...
He's not a puncher. Not a puncher.
But he's got a boxing brain.
Yeah, so he's not a puncher, very good. Very good.
Yeah, he's got a really good boxing brain. And I've said this, I think Denzel overlooked that part of it because Heaney seemingly came out of nowhere. So people assumed he was a white-collar guy who just got the rub from Frank. But he wasn't. He's a kid who can box, and he boxed a very clear plan, and Denzel's corner didn't have an answer to it. Now, does that mean that Denzel's washed? Hell no. Denzel Bentley is still a guy who...
Mandatory, wasn't it? Mandatory decision it was.
Yeah. Put Denzel in with Eubank Jr., give him a camp. If Denzel listens to the brain power around him, I think he can blast Eubank too. think he can blast Liam Smith. I think he can blast most of those guys. But it's not just about relying on power. It's you got to create homes for those heavy shots. You got to find nice soft targets to land those big shots. That's when you double the impact of your shots. You can't just believe you're going to knock everyone out. You got to earn these things. Because otherwise you end up boxing a bit like John Mugabe, where every shot's like a hit and hope. It works 60% of the time, yeah. But then you meet a guy like terrible Terry Norris.
Do you remember when John Mugabe fought Marvin Hagler?
Gave him hell for a bit till Hagler kind of figured him out.
Yeah. He tortured him, didn't he? And Hagler couldn't work him out at the beginning, could he? And don't forget, John Mugabe at the time, he was like a WBC 154 champion, one is stepping up.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And I think, if I'm right, I think he knocked everybody out who he'd fought. I think he'd iced everybody before he fought Hagler. Let me just check on that. I might be wrong on that. No, he was 25-0 when he fought Hagler.
Yeah. And then he lost to Hagler. And then did he lose to Dwayne Martin as well?
Dwayne Thomas, he lost to, didn't he, straight after?
Dwayne Thomas, the Kronk guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he knocked everybody out, Terry. He was 25-0, 25 by way of. Oh, my God. So he was a beast, John the Beast Mugabe, and Hagler said, yeah, I'll fight him. He didn't give it the old 60-40, 70-30, 50-50. He said, let's just do the business, didn't he? Let's fight. Let's fight.
Yeah, and then after that...
Man. Terry, imagine an Iceman coming through ranks now at 154 and call it middleweight champion out, and he's iced everybody 25-0. You know, like a Hagler, like Wilder, 100% record he won at one point.
Well, what's Tim Tszyu looking like in terms of his record?
Tim Tszyu?
Yeah.
Hang on. Costa Tszયુ's son.
Yeah, but not spelt the way you spell it.
Tim Tszyu.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to put ZOO, didn't you? Like I normally do. That's ball breaking on a massive scale that time. Tim Tszyu, 24-0, 17 by way of.
Okay.
5 foot 8, like middleweight, isn't he? Super welter, sorry.
Yeah.
I think he's good, him. I think he's good, him.
He Australian guy, workman-like, but seems to have his old man's power. So it'll be interesting to see how far he goes and whether he starts going up to 160.
Nobody calls him out. Nobody calls from England seems to be calling these Yanks out. These Charlos. When are those Brits going to call out them lot and get rid of them once and for all, Terry? Because they're holding belts to ransom.
No, Jamal Charlo isn't holding belts to ransom, mate. He's
one of them was.
Yeah, Jamal was. Yeah, Jamal has. Remember,
are they the same person then?
They're twins, Russ.
They're twins, yeah. Because I don't think I've ever seen them together. But no, they just seem to be holding belts. Hostage, a bit like Fury.
Well, WBC, right? So same challenges.
Don't get me started on Fury power. I've had Stig on today on to me, texting me. The Stig is back in the loop.
Stig needs to sit down, mate. His hero got put down by a UFC fighter, man. Stig needs to just chill for a bit.
Stig power is no more after that put down, is he?
Nah, the old Stigmata, God bless him.
Hey, Stig called it all, didn't he, before us lot? He was saying,
what did he call?
Vladimir when he'd come back and he'd get his belt, beat Wilder. He got it all right, didn't he, Stiggy?
Well, you've known Stig longer than me then, because I didn't know him back then.
Yeah, he says he'll beat Wilder. He's easy work. He was right, wasn't he, Stig? Bless him.
It wasn't easy. Wait. It wasn't easy work.
No, it weren't easy. Hey, listen.
Fury left his soul in that trilogy.
Hey?
Fury left his soul in that trilogy.
Yeah, he did. And I think Wilder did as well. They both knocked lumps at each other, didn't they, really?
Yeah. You can't come out of that sort of thing the same person you went in as.
You know them them trilogies like that when you get two good guys. Like you said something to me a bit more, and I think Clinton agrees with me on this. You know, when he fought Glenn Johnson, they fought 3 times, didn't they? And Glenn Johnson was a tough old man. If you don't believe me, go and ask Carl Froch, because I said to him a couple of weeks ago, what about Glenn Johnson? He went, God, his head were like concrete pokies. He were like an oak tree. And he had to get through it by just not breaking his hands on his head, like Flurry scoring punches to keep him off, because he was just like Pac-Man. Tough old man. Well, Clinton had 36 rounds with him, didn't he?
Look what he did to Roy Jones. Never forget that right hand he landed on Roy.
Yeah, he put Roy on bottom moon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the sort of trilogies I want to see. Right, we're going to talk now about something that we've never removed as many comments as we have in the last 72 hours, or whatever, from that I Dublin show. I've never removed as many comments in me. I don't even think I'm going to comment on another Irish show, mate, because you've never
Mate, were they on your neck?
Oh, jeez. Terry, I've never seen anything like it, what we've removed. The vileness of it is unbelievable. If you think the Fury Power Group people are crazy, oh my God. Couldn't believe it.
Mate, I got it. Like, they were on my neck. They were on my nizzle all I said was, why does Katie Taylor's voice sound like a 14-year-old boy?
Yeah.
And they went crazy.
What did you think to the fight?
So I thought it was a fair win. I thought Katie won.
Yeah, but the fight changed though. After, if they give that as a knockdown, does the fight take a different path?
No.
You don't think it does, no?
No. I'm gonna tell you why. Go back to the first fight, Russ.
Yeah.
Do you remember when they said Ellie Scotty can't box on the show?
Yeah.
And they gave the reason why. And they said, we don't want anything on the show that's going to be a distraction for Chantal Cameron on the biggest night of her life, right?
Yeah.
And I said then, in one of my episodes, I said, that's a red flag to me. Because if you need to do that in order to be at your best, you're probably not top tier. Right?
She beat her,
and
though.
So when she beat her, but the thing is, you got to do it twice. And she knew she had to do it twice. She's known from the start that she'd have to beat Katie Taylor twice. So it seems that she came into this, and I don't know why, how, where, when, whatever, she wasn't mentally there. This should have been, if Chantal Cameron was really about this whole being the queen of the boxing world thing, she'd have come out in that first round and just battered Katie Taylor. There'd have been none of this feeling your way in. There'd have been none of this tap, tap, tap. It would have been boom. Yeah.
Well, she dropped her in for one first round, didn't she? Did she?
Wait, hold on. It's one of those where, by the rules of boxing, you can call it a knockdown, right? But in terms of like doing real damage, it was a combination of Chantal landing a shot, Katie trying to go back, and it looked like her boot got stuck in the canvas. And I've only ever seen that happen once before. Do you remember when Andre Ward, the king of all super middleweights, the best super middleweight that's ever lived, the man who made children out of all of his opponents, Sir Andre Ward, we'll call him now. Do you remember when he fought Kovalev in the first fight, Russ?
Right.
And he got dropped. But if you watch him get dropped, he was boxing in a pair of Jordans, and his Jordans snagged on the canvas as well, so he couldn't really even try and absorb the shot. And that's the only other time I've seen it happen where I'm like, that's a footwear thing as well. But I'm going to say to you what I said about Dubois and Usyk. Where was the follow-up? If you thought you dropped her, Chantal Cameron, cool. Where was the follow-up?
Yeah.
Mentally weak. Mentally weak. Katie Taylor, mentally strong, because Katie said, I'm just going to be me. And you know what you're going to get with Katie? She's going to march forward, throw 4 shots, maybe throw their head in. She's always going to do that. And then she's going to do the other thing where she slides back towards the ropes and then bang, 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 bang. Score some shots and moves off. Katie did nothing new. Chantal Cameron couldn't cope with it. She's lost her belts. Good. Like, we need to have the same standard for everyone. If you want to be at the top of that tree, you got to do top of the tree things. And Chantel Cameron didn't do that on the night. I don't think it was a robbery. I think it was a fair result. And once again, the Maud Travis combination has shown that it can't get it done.
I think that's a bit harsh.
Why?
Well, their job's to train her. She's obviously gone there. It was a close fight, and they've not had Robert Green, have they? Really? Come on, look at the referee.
No, wait, Russ. When you're a trainer, everything until that first bell is your accountability. Yeah. Chantel Cameron should have been willing to bite Katie Taylor's face off in that fight. Why wasn't she?
You mean like, so certain people, when they get dropped, champions, they get up, spit the soda start, and they say, right, let's get at it. Or certain people who drop people and it's not given as a knockdown, they shrug it off and go at them, don't they? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. It's like, well, it's this. I'm going to crush Katie Taylor. I don't care if you don't give that as a knockdown. You're just making it worse for her. It's cool. That's the mentality I want to see in a boxer every time. It's you or me tonight, and it's not going to be me. I don't let kids fight unless they can show me that. The number of times I tell kids you're not ready, and they go, what do you mean I'm not ready? I was like, you're not willing to bite someone's face off in that ring. You don't walk into that ring, even when you shadow box, going to yourself, it's me or them. If you can't do that for me, you don't fight for me. I don't care how much money is at stake. So where was that in Chantel Cameron? But Katie Taylor went into that ring like it's her or me. It ain't going to be me. And she fought like that. She deserved to win just for that.
There were a few headbutts going in, Terry. You have to be honest about that, don't you?
Yeah, but we knew that from the first fight, right?
Yeah. Do you think that Chantel Cameron were protected by the referee for all the head clashes? Yes or no?
I'm going to answer the same way I answer when people talk about Holyfield. I think when someone's reckless with the head, it's your job to regulate that. Leave an elbow in there if you have to. Or you put your head in there. Yeah. Put your head in there. I promise to God, if Katie Taylor's rushing in head first and you drop your forehead low enough, you will split her forehead wide open. She won't do that again. Who's there? You're talking about I'm harsh on Moore and Travis. Why aren't they teaching her that?
Well, that's because that's cheating, isn't it, doing that?
No, it's not. It's managing a situation.
Yeah, but if the referee decides he can take points off for it, can't he? If he's that way inclined, then she's fighting away from home, isn't she?
No, you're allowed to drop down, Russ. You're allowed to lower the height of your head. You're also allowed to raise the height of your head. When you choose to do that is entirely up to you.
You think she just had to be a bit more cuter?
She had to want it. I don't think she wanted it.
So are we saying that Chantel Cameron in the last 6 months got not civilized, but maybe people were gassing her up a little bit? You think?
What happened with Andy Ruiz between the Joshua fights?
Yeah, he got gassed up, didn't
he? Mm-hmm. That's what happens.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get the thing you always wanted, right? And that's you done.
Yeah.
Maybe that's all Chantel wanted. Just to say, look, I beat Katie Taylor. Maybe she should have retired after that. She had nothing to prove after that.
Yeah, it's so what now for Chantel Cameron and Jamie Moore and Nigel Travis, and what for Katie Taylor? What next?
Listen, man, Chantel Cameron's just got to scrape up whatever's left after January. Like, if it's Michaela Mayer, fight Michaela Mayer. Do you know what I mean? That's it, really. Like, who's interested in her now? Nobody.
Yeah.
This is what I mean. Like, the talent pool in women's boxing is so weak that a defeat just renders you irrelevant. Look, since Michaela Mayer lost to Baumgardner, she hadn't really done nothing. Now she's got the fight with Tasha Jonas. She's going to get beat again. They were not going to be interested in her.
Yeah. Yeah. So where does she go now then? Because where does Katie Taylor go now then? 2-time undisputed champion in 2 different weight divisions, approaching
Only one fight matters, Russ. There's only one fight, and I think if it was me, it'll be Natasha Jonas versus Katie Taylor. Both women go off into the sunset after that fight.
Because they're ages. Yeah.
Perfect retirement fight for me. Yeah. And that's Liverpool and Dublin. That's going to sell. I think that's going to be the high point of women's boxing, in my opinion, is those two going head to head. Tasha with the southpaw, probably more powerful in terms of punches. A lot busier now. I think the added weights helped her a lot more. And then you got Katie Taylor, who you know what you're going to get with Katie. And I think it's a lot easier this time for someone like Tasha because she's a southpaw. She can get out the way of the head and all of that, and even catch her rushing in. So I'd like to see that as like a fight for the summer, and then both ladies ride off into the sunset saying, our work here is done.
You think Natasha Jonas would get a fair shake in Dublin?
Why does it need to be in Dublin?
I don't know. I just get the impression that she's going to want to fight in Dublin all the time now.
But that arena was what, 8,000?
8,200 they did, didn't they? Which is good for a women headliner, isn't it?
Not when someone's supposed to be a national hero. It's a bit like there are 2 stadiums in your city that she clearly can't fill.
Well, how's he talking Croke Park then? Because that's 80,000 plus 10 up pitch. How are they going to do that?
Not only that, but isn't there a rule that you can't really have English people in Croke Park?
I don't know, but looking at some of not only the comments on here, some of the emails I've had, I've now got to the stage where I've had to check my history because a lot of it I didn't even know about. I didn't know that the English back in the day were pretty awful to the Irish, weren't they? Reading it all. So
yeah,
see why they're cheesed off with us, can you?
Mate, I did a big chunk of my A-level was Irish history. Not just the Irish famine, not just the Troubles, but all the way back to the 1500s, like when it used to be So what used to happen back in the day was just a really high-level potted history of Ireland, right? It's been a Viking colony, which is why Dublin looks like a Nordic city. And before people start commenting, it does look like a Nordic city. Get on a plane and go to Copenhagen and you'll know what I mean. So the Vikings were there first because it was a good place to launch attacks, right? And they also did some bad things in Ireland as well. And a lot of Irish people have Viking blood in them. Yeah. The Spanish and the French have also used Ireland as a stop-off point to attack Britain, England, whatever you want to call it, from both sides, right? And that's why you've got a lot of people who are Irish with quite Spanishy features as well. So Ireland's had a really interesting history, but because it's been used as a place to launch attacks against Britain, Britain's always felt that it needs to control Ireland to make sure that it can't be attacked from its western side. And so they've done some messed up things over the centuries. And I've always said by rights, I get why the Irish don't like the English, and they're 100% right. Like a lot of messed up stuff has happened. We're not that far away from people having signs saying no dogs, no blacks, no Irish in this country. Let's not forget that. So there are a lot of people that live in this country, there are a lot of people that live in Ireland who understand how badly they've been treated by the English and in England. And so I get it when they see their sporting hero being hammered by the English. I get why they'd be a bit defensive. I get it. But guys, I'm telling you this now, the views on Katie Taylor are just based on boxing. Nothing about her being Irish, nothing about her being a woman. It's just based on based on boxing.
Yeah, but people, if they're losing an argument on social media or if they send you an email, they always bring that up. But I was born in 1970, so I didn't even know about that. I do know about it now, and they were pretty brutal, weren't they, to a lot of countries,
mate? But they were beating up Irish people in the 70s and 80s. Like there was a lot of anti-Irish like antipathy in this country, man. It's crazy. And this is going to upset your Tommy Robinson supporting fans. If they taught more English people about the messed up stuff this country's done abroad, you'd have a different perspective on things because
Yeah.
we learn it. Anyone that's lived outside of England learns the messed up things this country has done.
You want to go